Hayden, happy to be back in Perth after a few weeks away.
Yeah, very happy. It's good to be back. No, it was actually a good week in Adelaide. I was able to catch up with family, and we stayed down in Glenelg at the beach, which was really nice. Yeah, it would have been nice to come away with a couple of wins, but we felt like we played some really good footy, and I suppose we came back with two losses, but a lot of belief. So it's good to be back and ready to get into this week.
I was going to ask you that confidence that you get from, I know it's 2 losses, but the competitive and the way you've played, do you feel like that can help build on the rest of the season, given the challenge you had over there?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously it's disappointing to lose those games, but you'd rather be in those games than not. So we feel like we can learn a lot of lessons from those losses, and as I said, we can take a lot of belief and a lot of confidence in the way that we're playing. And we feel like that brand of footy should hold up against most opposition.
Coming from over there though, where you're probably a little bit more freer, and then you come back here and it's Derby week, the biggest week in WA footy. How's that sort of feeling for you guys? Are you excited, prepared for it?
Yeah, I haven't really thought too far ahead. We'll review the weekend's game today and then move on Wednesday to West Coast. But I suppose following on from West Coast's win, it feels like there's a bit of hype now, which is great, and we're really looking forward to getting back out there and keep building off some pretty good footy that we've been playing. So yeah, it's going to be a good week for the state. Hopefully everyone gets down to the game and gets really excited. The Eagles look like they had a good game on the weekend, so we're excited for the opportunity.
How would you compare the Port Adelaide midfield with the Eagles midfield?
Bit of young talent in both, I think. No, Port are very dynamic as a midfield group, and the Eagles midfield look like they've been playing some good footy. So they're both good midfields, and we're going to have to bring our best to
Are you
play well.
interested in seeing what Harley Reid's like one-on-one? Like, would you like to sort of match up on him a bit?
Yeah, potentially. Usually as a midfield group, we don't really get too stuck on with opponents. We're sort of 4v4 in there, but yeah, they got some big, strong bodies in there, and yeah, we like to think that we're a physical midfield and we match up against most midfields, so should be a good battle.
Yo's really in good form, isn't he? He's really back to his best almost, would you say?
Yeah, it looks like he's playing some good footy. He's another one who leads with his physicality, and it's something that we're going to have to be aware of this week, and no, it should be a good battle.
Why do you think you can't convert to goals? Why do you think 9 goals is all you could get to in that game? Because you did play very, very well, but just can't win with 9 games, not 9 goals, can you?
Yeah, it's a combination of a few factors. We haven't been finishing off our work in front of goal a few times when we had some great opportunities, and then our connection inside forward 50 hasn't always given our forwards the best opportunity. There's been a few times where we haven't been predictable, which has made it hard. Port Adelaide have some pretty tall key defenders who make it hard for our key forwards, but we still feel like we created some really good opportunities. We had Josh Tracy played a terrific game. Jai Amos was able to get on the lead. Matt Taberner created a great contest for us, which enabled our smalls to get to work at ground level. And they brought great heat, which made it hard to get some easy shots on goal. So, yeah, we still got to take a lot of confidence from our ability to get it in there and create opportunities, and we're just got to keep backing ourselves to finish off our work.
On that, Hayden, you've known for your field kicking, that's been a strength of yours since you've come into the AFL. What have you noticed the differences between hitting a field kick versus kicking inside 50 and trying to hit a target?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. You feel like when you're going inside 50, there's a bit more pressure on the kick because you really want to make it count, and that's something that we've all been working on. Is we feel like our work outside of D50 and through the middle of the ground has been really good, and our kicking's been up to a good standard, and we just got to take that approach when we go inside 50. Yeah, I suppose we got to forget about the pressure on the kick and just hit our targets. That's something that we're all working on. We do a lot of work midweek on our mid-forward connect, and I suppose that's the only difference is it feels like there's a bit more on the kick and you got to make it count, and you sort of got to forget that when you're out there and just focus on completing the skill.
How does the dynamic change? Of course, hopefully, fingers crossed, Sean Darcy comes back in. What's it like, I guess, roving off him comparatively to Luke Jackson?
Oh, they're both terrific ruckmen, and they both have different strengths. Sean's a big unit and provides a lot of strength around the contest. He's a good sort of stoppage player, and he's pretty hard to move, whereas Luke is really dynamic at ground level. So they've both been great strengths. It's going to be great to have them both back in the lineup hopefully this week. Sean's got to get through training obviously, but yeah, it also gives the opportunity for Luke to go down forward and provide an aerial threat. We know how damaging he's been at this year, so we look forward to having them both out there hopefully.
Are you looking forward to playing, I guess, one of your first sort of derbies in that midfield role comparatively to the defence?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, no, it should be good. Every derby I've played in so far has been great. There's always a great atmosphere leading into the week and on game day, and the crowd's always electric. So it's going to be good to be in there, in and amongst it in the midfield, and hopefully we can get on top in there.
And you've go into this game, albeit you had those 2 respectable defeats, but 3 losses in a row can seriously impact the season. Do you guys feel a bit of pressure going into this derby, especially considering you're going to be the favourites?
No, not really. No, I think the footy that we're playing at the moment gives us a lot of confidence, and we certainly aren't feeling any pressure. One thing that we spoke about during the week is you can't get caught up in wins and losses. You just got to look at what you're doing on the field in terms of the brand and the system that we're playing. And it's a long season. We're 5 rounds in. If we keep playing that sort of footy, I'm sure that we'll win more than we lose, and we just got to keep believing in that and not get too caught up in the wins and losses, because that'll take care of itself.
Just one on your skipper, Hayden. So much talk about his form. How have you seen his leadership? How's he leading the boys?
Yeah, he's been outstanding. I feel like last year he was sort of laid into the role as skipper, and then he obviously has a pretty big task each week with the best forward, but this year it feels like he's just been dominating his role, and off the back of that he's been able to lead so much better. And as a leader, we don't need anything more from him. We don't need him to speak more or, I don't know, give this motivational speech. We just need him to play his role. And the best way he can lead is by dominating his role and dominating his opponent, which he's been doing week in, week out. So off the back of him playing some really good footy, his leadership's gone to another level.
It's a different week this week, though, isn't it? They haven't got a big forward. So do you reckon maybe they change it up and bring someone from the back line to the forward line? Because there's no... I mean, Waterman's not tall and Darling's not tall. It's different.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Waterman seemed to do all right on the weekend. So, yeah, they were pretty sharp on the weekend, and our defenders are going to have their work cut out for them. And they're all aware of that. And, yeah, we look forward to the challenge. I'm not sure what they're going to do in terms of their structure or where people play, but... we know when their forwards are up and about, they can kick a lot of goals, which they did on the weekend.
Hayden, I think you might be 5 from 5, 5 derbies, 5 wins. Have you got a favourite sort of derby memory that rings true in your mind?
Probably my first one. Yeah, I feel like back then, I'm not actually sure which year it was, but we were sort of the underdogs back then, and that was our first win in a long time, I believe. It might have been 12 straight losses, and yeah, that would have been my favourite derby. It sort of went down to the wire late, and we were able to get over the top, and yeah, it was a pretty fond memory.
You spoke about kicking inside 50. Darcy does return, hypothetically, say. That means Jackson's going to spend more time in attack, and it's going to change the dynamic of that forward line. Do you think that will change the way you guys train this week and to lead up into that and try and expose the fact that you're going to have 3 very big, versatile tools down there?
Potentially. It might change some strategy in terms of how we enter. We know Dogger's obviously a big target, so we might look to get it in a bit deeper and a bit quicker to him and see if we can expose him that way. But we like to think as a forward line we've got multiple threats. We've got people coming at the leg, people sliding in behind, and we want to keep emphasising that point so that it's not too predictable for the opposition. So, yeah, I think Luke Jackson going forward gives us a lot of versatility down there and a lot of scoring options, so hopefully it works.
From an outside point of view, coaches will like to say it's just another game. As a player and as a group, do you get excited for this though, the fact that Saturday night under lights, 60,000, the whole town's going to be watching?
Yeah, definitely. It is another game, but it also isn't. It's Western Australia, and the derby's massive, and we all know that. And I'm not a Western Australian originally, but I've learned to love this sort of game and love the atmosphere it brings. And yeah, I've been lucky enough to win a few, and it's just a great feeling after the game if you can win a derby. So yeah, we'll have to bring our best footy this weekend because the Eagles are in good form, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
What do you think of the advent of their Victorian kid? He's not that dissimilar to you, young Reid, and he's from Victoria, but what's your feeling about him?
Oh, I'm excited by what he can do. I think so far he's looked to make an impact early. He's obviously takes the game on. He's really aggressive, and yeah, I like watching him play it. He plays a brand of footy that's exciting, and a brand of footy that I would like to play as well. Be strong, be hard to tackle, and take the game on. So it's good to see a Victorian kid come over here and play well.
Would you be looking at him to break tackles, and you'd be focusing on not letting him break tackles because that's become his thing now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think we saw that with Port Adelaide. We knew they were going to try to take us on, and that was a focus for us to stick tackles and make it hard for them, and it's not going to be no different this week.
You said you're going to review the game, obviously, this week. How much do you guys look in the final 3 or 4 minutes of the last 2 games you've played and hope that come finals, that you guys can make sure that you're on the other end of that one, considering structures and all that sort of stuff that gets deep dived into by all the TVs and everybody else?
Yeah, we certainly took a deep dive into it last week, and I'm not sure what JL's got in store for us today, but we certainly got a few things wrong late in that last quarter that we're going to have to learn from. But as I said earlier, we want to be in those positions now early in the season so we can learn from it. And yeah, to go all the way, you're going to have to learn these hard lessons. It's not going to be sunshine and rainbows all the time. So yeah, it's disappointing, but we can take a lot of confidence out of those performances and hopefully learn a lot.
How beneficial is being back home and actually, getting back into a bit of a normal routine after 2 games on the road?
Yeah, it is really beneficial. We were well looked after in Adelaide, but it's not the same as being in the comfort of your home. So our preparation won't look any different this week to what it usually does, but we'll just have that added comfort of being home with family and friends. So no, it's good to be back, and I'm looking forward to getting into this week.